Welcome to Well Balanced Kids Yoga in a Circus. Circus Yoga today. We've been really looking forward to this, haven't we, Rosa?
Yeah.
What do you like about the circus?
I like the clowns because they're funny.
You like the clowns because they're funny?
Yeah.
I hope we have some fun today. I really like the acrobats and the trapeze artists, and we'll be pretending to be trapeze artists as well today. So, I hope that you've done your warm-up first, your sun salutation, which is another video on our website. And we're going to start off with a bit of hula hooping, because sometimes when you go to the circus, you might see some acts, some warm-up acts before the big acts appear. And in our circus, there aren't any animals, there's no elephants or horses. It's just people entertaining us, because some people don't like animals at the circus. And so we've decided we're not going to have any animals with us today. So it's just going to be us doing our circus moves. Okay, so I want you to stand up and imagine you've got a big hula hoop. And what kind of move do we make when we're hula hooping? That's right, we swivel our hips. This is really good to get flexibility into our hips. So just keep drawing circles. Imagine that your hips are drawing a circle on the floor. You can have your arms out, or you can have your arms like this. And then I want you to go the other way, because often we can do one way really easily, and then the other way is a bit stiff. I'm definitely a bit stiffer on this way.
So which way I was going?
It takes a bit of concentration to go from one side to the other. And another really good hip flexor, or opener, not opener, but releaser, is doing a figure of 8 with your hips. So with this, imagine that you have a pencil on your hips and you're drawing a figure of 8. So go one way and then the other. You might want to do it slowly, or you might want to do it quickly. And then after a few turns, going one way and then the other, go the other way. And see how easy you find that.
The hard way first, I did that the easy way.
A long time ago, I used to live in the Caribbean, and they had big carnivals. And people used to say, if you practice doing your figure of 8s with your hips, you became a better dancer, ready for carnival. I'm a bit out of practice with my carnival dancing. So that should hopefully have loosened up your hips a little bit. Give your shoulders a little shake as well, for the little warm-up act at the circus. Okay, so first of all, we have the tightrope walkers. Oh, wow! Yes! Look how high the tightrope is.
I'm scared to go in there.
So we've got to do some serious balancing if we're going to stay up there and not fall down. So what's a good balancing pose?
Tree!
Tree pose, that's the one, Rosa. So get your point of focus. It always helps if you can find a point of focus. So find something to focus on that isn't moving, not a person, not a dog, not anything that wobbles. Find something, and we call that the drishti point. And if you lock your eyes on that, it will really help you get focus. Then put all your weight on one leg, get a nice firm grounding on that, and then bring up your foot and press it in to your inner thigh. If that's too difficult, if you're struggling with that, then put your foot by your ankle and just make sure that whatever you do, you don't put your foot on your knee. Rosa, can you demonstrate putting your foot on your ankle for us? That's it. So that's much easier. And make sure that your knee is pointing outwards. It's not pointing forwards. Sometimes people point it forwards. And then bring your hands together. Yeah, it might depend what you're wearing. I'm wearing quite slippery clothes today, and that makes it hard. It's easier if you do what Rosa's doing sometimes and roll it up. And bring your hands together either at your heart or above your head, like so. And see how long you could be on the tightrope. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down you come. And because that leg's been balancing so much, give it a little shake out.
Now
Oh,
my favourite leg that I can do way better on.
well, it can be hard some days. We can keep those poses for ages, and other days we really struggle. So what Rose is doing is a good idea. She's putting her arms out to help her balance. And that's what tightrope walkers do as well, don't they? They often hold a pole to help them balance. So let's do it that way. So go on the other foot. So balance on the other leg and bring the other foot up. You see, I can't do it on this very well for some reason today. So I'm going on the ankle. And bring your arms up like that. That makes you balance better. Or bring up your hands. And hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! What a great tightrope walkers they were. Yeah, we like those. Okay, so next comes on the weightlifters, the strong man. And for that, we're going to go into warrior 2 position. So we put our legs nice and wide, and one foot is pointing to the end of the mat, and the other foot is pointing to the side of the mat. And we can check that our feet are in the right position by just drawing a line from the back of the foot that's facing forwards. Whoa. And making sure that that line meets the centre of our back foot. And then we bend our front knee. We make sure that the knee is just directly above the ankle. It's not forward or back, but right directly above. And then we bring our arms up to shoulder height, woo, making them nice and level. And then we look over the arm that is over the bent knee. And we can imagine that we've got sparks flying out of the front fingers. And we can imagine someone pulling on both our arms. So we're really stretching out our arms. But we're weightlifters. We're the strong man. So let's pick up those weights. Oh, they're heavy. Maybe we'll go down a bit and up a bit, down a bit. How much are you carrying, Rosa?
About 55 million tons.
Wow, isn't she strong? That's incredible. I could never lift up that much. And let's turn around and do it on the other side. So, make sure that heel is in the centre of that back foot.
Yes.
Bend that front knee and then bring up your arms and look towards the hand that's over the front foot. And imagine someone pulling both hands so that you're stretching out as far as you can. Nice and strong. So strong, we're going to pick up our weights again. Whoa, I am just sinking under my weights. Oh! And pull them up again. Down again. And up again. And one last time. Whoa. Bottom. I put my weights down.
I just chucked them down.
Well, we can also do that pose as a juggler. So just twist your feet around again and let's pretend we're juggling. I like juggling. How many balls have you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
8.
9.
Wow.
Sorry, 9.
I'm not very good at juggling in real life, but I'm imagining I've got a whole load of rainbow coloured balls, and I'm going to turn my feet again, bring my arms out a little wider. I've got something very weird going on. I've got a long arm on one side. Can you see, Rosa? It's the magic of circus. It's stretching out my arms.
I've got one arm shorter than the short one.
Oh. Okay. So next, we're going to practice being acrobats at a circus. Now, you might be able to do the splits in real life. I certainly can't.
No.
Rosa
I'm
can't
close,
either.
but no.
So what we're going to do is, rather than do the splits, you're more than welcome to do the splits if you can, we're going to do a pose that is a way to practice strengthening, to prepare for doing the splits. So even if you can do the splits, do this pose first. And that's lizard pose, which we do in the sun salutation. So back foot back, front foot forward with your knee directly over your ankle, and let your back knee sink down to the floor, And then let your let your hips come down and your chest rest on your front thigh. And your hands flat on the floor and looking straight down at your big toe. So this opens up the muscles, it opens up your hips, stretches the muscles on your inner thigh, which are the muscles that need stretching if you're ever to get down into the splits. And let's swap over so that we're doing the other side. So get that back foot as far back as you can, and your hips sink down. And we just hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done.
I was struggling.
Sometimes yoga can feel a struggle, maybe, but if you're feeling like it's a bit of a struggle, then just ease off a bit. Nothing should be painful. Nothing should hurt. We're supposed to be having fun. So if you can only do a little stretch, if you can do this, that's okay. It's fine. We just do it bit by bit, and maybe next time you can do a little bit more. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is, sometimes you see acrobats or children even doing handstands. And you might see acrobats at the circus doing handstands and flip-flops all over the ring. So we're not going to do a handstand either today, because that's quite an advanced yoga move, and I'd want to make sure that you're safe at home doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do downward dog, because that builds up the strength in our arms and shoulders, which enables us to prepare for giving us the strength to do a proper handstand. Okay, so into downward dog. Hands hip width apart, feet hip width apart, push back from your hands and push your bottom as high up as you can. And try and get those heels as close to the ground as you can. And don't worry if they're not completely straight. Just as long as you've got a slight bend in them is fine. Just as long as you're trying to stretch them out as much as possible.
And if you want, you can pedal your legs.
That's right. If you want to create a further stretch in your legs, you can pedal your legs. So you can probably feel that this is strengthening your arms.
Yes, I can.
And stretching your legs at the same time. And if you can do a handstand,
yes,
and you haven't got anything around you that you might damage or hurt yourself on, and you feel confident that you can do that, you're welcome to try. Rosa, would you like to do a handstand?
Yeah, I'll try. I mean, yeah. Okay. You might want to go think.
Okay. Oh, good attempt there. Very good. I know that Rosa can do lots of handstands, and sometimes much better than that. But that was a really good attempt. Well
Sometimes
done.
I can hold them for about 5 or 6 seconds, but that one was just a little quick one because big.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a bit busy doing yoga here, aren't we, folks? So next we are going to become trapeze artists. So we're going to go swinging on the big trapeze. We're going to walk up to the big top of the tent, and we're going to trapeze across the whole circus. These are some of my favourite acts if I go to the circus. I love seeing them all moving about and their fancy costumes. So for trapeze, we are going to do a pose that we call shark pose, but some people call locust pose. So we lie with our bellies on the floor, and we have our hands clasped behind our bottoms and our legs zipped up. And then we just bring up our heads, our hands, and our feet all at once. And we imagine that we're flying through the air. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can grab hold of your feet and pull your feet up. And you may well be able to get much more curved back than me. And you might be able to bring your legs up much higher than I can.
I can curve my back, but if I curve my back, then it's harder to curve my legs.
Oh yes, Rosa can do it much better than I can. Do you want to show Rosa how to do it? My old back's not up for this very well. So, and lift up. So there you go, flying through the air, grand trapeze. Yay! We thought that was brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. So next we have, sometimes you used to get seals rolling the balls with their flippers at the circus in the old days when you had more animals around. So instead of seals, we're going to be a human seal and roll a ball on our feet, or a pretend ball, I should say. So
put it on my feet and then kick it up and then dance on my head.
Absolutely. So we're going to go into candlestick pose.
One of my favourite poses in yoga.
So for candlestick pose, you've got 3 options. You can just lie your back on the floor and put your legs up and imagine that you've got a ball and you're rolling the ball on your feet. Or you could bring your legs over your head and roll the ball like so. But if you're in this position, make sure that you've got your hands on your back. Or you can bring your legs all the way up, so they're nice and straight. And as I say, always remember to support your lower back with your hands and try not to twist your head in this position. So have a look at the position before you do it, rather than getting into position and then looking at your laptop or tablet or phone or whatever you're watching this on. And keep looking up at your toes. So bring your toes down towards your face and imagine you've got a ball sitting on your toes and you're just rolling the ball on top of your toes.
Mine's a big ball.
Is it? What colour is your ball?
Mine's blue and red because they're my favourite colours.
Oh, nice.
And a tiny bit of gold, if you can see that being pulled on.
No, I think mine's a rainbow stripe ball. And now we've got the unicyclists coming.
Yay!
Around the circus ring. So imagine you're riding a bike and around
A big bike.
a really big bike. That's right, because it's only got 1 wheel. That's what a unicycle is, isn't it?
It's a big wheel.
With
Sometimes you can get small wheels.
a big wheel with 1 seat that someone sits on top and then rides it round. Oh, and slowly come back down.
And then kind of do a little bit of control.
And there you have the human seal and the unicyclist as well.
The human cyclist.
Wow, that was quite a workout. Can be quite, if you stay up there a long while, your shoulders can get tense. So just roll out your shoulders. Give them a little shoulder roll. Or what is it you call them, Rosa?
I call them Swiss rolls.
A Swiss roll, just to get rid of that tension. And maybe your neck's a little tense as well. So give your neck a little roll. Just do it slowly so you don't get dizzy. 1 way.
My hair keeps getting wrong.
And then, and then the other.
I do. I'm rolling again because my hair gets in the way, so I'm like this.
Well, she does plenty of that. So, finally, we are going to become a human cannonball. So, human cannonball is a great act where someone rolls up, they put on their helmet and they go into a huge cannon and slip themselves in and they get shot. Woo!
And go all the way around the world and then come back to the circus.
Sometimes, and sometimes they just shoot across the circus ring into a big safety mattress. So we're going to become the human cannonball. We're going to roll up really small by going into clam. So you can either have your knees together or your knees apart, and then just roll forward with your head on the floor, hands by your feet, until you are as small as you can be. And just rest and imagine that you're being put into the cannon before you shoot out across the circus ring to land on the mat to the gasps and awe of the crowd. Does it feel nice shooting through air?
Yes.
So, we've pretty much seen lots of acts at the circus today. We didn't see any clowns though, Rosa. Did you have any jokes that you could tell?
What did the fork say to the knife?
What did the fork say to the knife?
Look sharp.
She could be a clown, couldn't she? This one. We just need to get you a big red nose.
Or just colour me completely in red and I'll be fine with that because I love red. But I like blue more, but there's red up there.
So I hope you've enjoyed today's circus yoga. We've certainly enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
And don't forget that you can either do another yoga sequence now, or you can do a relaxation just to rest and calm down after all that activity you've just been doing. So thanks for watching, and I hope you come and watch something else soon.
And remember, you should look sharp.
Good advice. Bye-bye.
Bye.